Hello, I'm Zebarsis, and this is the 12th episode of the Teaching of Isaac. There's still a few characters I have not randomed yet, for example Lazarus and Eden. But today I have once again randomed Eve, so here we go. Eve is the risk versus reward character. And that's kind of dangerous there. Instead of taking damage from the monster, I decided to use the razor blade and get out of that quickly. Sure, I hurt myself, but now I deal lots of bonus damage and I have faster speed, so I should be able to handle the other rooms better. Now these corn poops, I don't know what they're called exactly, but they're really fast and erratic. Don't be fooled. They look really innocent there, but sometimes they might make a beeline for you when you least expect it. This is a pretty underrated item. The reason behind that is it does give you a slight boost of damage. It also means that every so often your tears will do sulfuric acid and dissolve the destructible. That gives you a lot more control onto where you can go and what you can do. One thing that's really great about it is I won't have to worry about bombing the secret room anymore. I can actually use it to dissolve the wall, and it'll open it up if there's a secret room there. Now that was just a lucky guess, because after all, this is the first level in Curse of the Lost. It's really hard to figure out where the secret room and the super secret room is on the first floor usually, since it breaks the rules as to where it needs to be, or where the rooms are rather. And thanks to sulfuric acid, I can now use bombs on other things. I can also make a lot of money, potentially. There is a very slight chance these urns may drop a quarter for me. That would give me even a bigger start. But you also have to expect the occasional spider. Now I'm not going to play the Keeper during my videos, at least I don't intend to. I don't know, maybe I'll make a special episode about that in the future. But either way, if you are the Keeper, then you're pretty much going to have to destroy as many urns as you can and pray that the swallowed penny drops. That's one of the essential items for him to survive. I gotta be really careful with this guy. You gotta take it a little slow, but of course you want to keep your distance. But you don't want to get yourself in a corner. It's kind of like playing the snake game. If you're not careful, when you're circling around, you might bump into his creep and get hit. If you're a really slow character, you might just have to run at top speed. It's also possible to pick up enough speed down items that you can't even outrun Superlust. Oh, I didn't even realize I grabbed a health up there. But that's alright, I can just use the razor blade. That's only unlocked in the future. I don't remember the criteria, but Eve does not start with the razor blade at the very beginning. I don't think this is a super secret room. No. If the door's open and you get a bunch of spiders that are spawned after the fact, then just go ahead and leave and you can save yourself the trouble. Now I know the super secret exit's not here, even though it's Curse of the Lost, because there's a room right here. Super secret rooms are attached to only one room, so it cannot be there. It's almost always at the end. The super secret room also cannot be here, because it's impossible for the doors to be on the longer side of these shorter but longer rooms. Now, I got a little scared there, so I decided to use the razor blade ahead of time. Those guys that were jumping around, if they jump at the flames, then they become really strong, really fast, erratic, and they have a lot of hit points, so it's hard to kill them. By the way, if I was desperate, I would use the sulfuric acid to destroy every single rock in the unlikely event that you find a crawl space. But it's a very time-consuming process, and I'm just going to move on. One of Eve's favorite things is soul hearts. It's a way of keeping your form without having to worry about any risks, really, or less risk. There isn't as much risk when you have that soul heart protecting you. Okay, I'm going to save these pills until after I defeat the boss. This is a champion version of the Duke of Flies because of his skin color. Now, it's the hardest one in my opinion because he spits out these flies that explode. When your damage is very low, it can get extremely overwhelming. Now, I want to show you what to do if your damage is abysmal. If your damage is practically non-existent, you're going to have to kite. Now you may notice that, well, not quite yet. Okay, now I can say it. You may notice that he's no longer spawning flies. There is a cap to how many he can spawn. So just keep dancing around. Now it's difficult because you have to not only dodge the Duke of Flies, but you have to dodge this crazy pile of flies here too. I don't know what the hell that was, but now this is going to ruin everything, because now they've been damaged, my dead bird is going to attack all those flies, and it's going to be chaotic. Okay, well I think I proved my point as to what you need to do, and in the end I get a magic mushroom, which I'm very happy about. I'm trying to decide what to do with this bone heart though. I think it's going to get in my way. I'm actually not completely sure how the interactions with the Bone Heart and Eve work. Bone Hearts are relatively new. So I'll just take it. So I'll take that first, because I know the magic mushroom is going to heal my health. Also gives me an HP up. Magic mushrooms, I would say, is the best boss item there is. And lastly, let's give the pills a try.
Friends till the end. Something's wrong.
Something's wrong is useless.
Paralysis.
Paralysis is the reason why you don't use pills in combat, that you don't know
Friends
what they do.
Till the end.
If you know what it is, then fine. But if it's a mystery, save it. Just wait till it's a safer time to use your pills. So I know I've cleared the secret room and the super secret room. I wish I had 5 coins, however. If I had 5 coins, then the next level has a chance of having an arcade. Unfortunately, I think I've exhausted all my options. But because of Curse of the Lost, I can't confirm if I've explored every room for sure or not. In the unlikely event that I happen to miss a room, I'm just going to go back and check really fast. Wait a minute. I didn't acknowledge this fact. There's a shop here, and then there's also a shop all the way to the north. You can't have 2 shops, that means one of these is a library. The library is usually not towards the end, therefore I'm going to check this first. Oh, this is fantastic. Okay, first of all, I'm going to get rid of my Bone Heart. You can't use that to spin devil deals, and my goal here is to get rid of every single heart I have. Because once I have every single heart removed, well, I won't have to worry about accidentally having too much health. Because let's say, for example, I grab this and my razor blade's gone. If I walk into a heart, then I'm going to lose my Eve transformation. So let me, first of all, stab, stab. Gonna grab all the books. Once you grab 3 books, you get the bookworm transformation. It allows you to randomly shoot an extra tier. Like that. And the telepathy for dummies, it just gives you homing tears. It's nice that it's a 2-charge item, but it's not too helpful, really. In the end, I'm going to take the Satanic Bible, because it gives you dark hearts instead of regular soul hearts. Now, I know the Book of Revelations increases your devil deal chance. I actually don't remember if the Satanic Bible does that. I don't think it does, but I'm going to go ahead and hang on to that and confirm it. So I didn't get my coin like I was hoping, but by going back, I reassessed the scenario and realized that there was 2 shops, which means it's actually a library. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing, actually. I'm 1 coin short. There is a chance I could get a coin in the shop. It's a risk. Here I go. No coin. I have a couple options. I could... here's what I'm going for. I'm going to just blow this up. It's going to blow up the shopkeeper, and it's going to blow up the donation machine. That's why I saved some coins there. So that way I can get some free coins later on. Well, free is subjective because it cost me a bomb. But all I wanted was 5, so I'm going to give back. Do not go over 999, otherwise the machine blows up. Sure, it drops a lot of money, but you can only have 99 cents at a time anyway. So you want to save it so that way you can use it on other runs. Okay, I have everything I need. I have to make sure I watch out for health ups though. If I grab a single health up of some type, I'm going to lose my Eve ability, which is the Whore of Babylon. Okay, that's nasty. So I want... Okay, they're going to the side. I want the bombs and the coin and the key. But the problem is it's dangerous. Very dangerous. I have an idea. Right, I keep running away from them, but I know they're gonna not destroy me immediately. I blew it. I grabbed the heart by accident. I totally blew it. Now my damage is weaker, my speed is slower. The good news though is that I have the bookworm transformation, and the magic mushroom gives you a bunch of stats up. It says all stats up, but it actually does not give you a tears up, so it's lying. Gonna destroy all these mushrooms here. Get some pills, maybe a mini mush. If you grab 3 mushroom items in your run, then you turn into a disgusting looking mushroom. It gives you an HP up and makes you look hilarious. Lo and behold, the mini mush. Now I got a lot more speed. It says range up, but it's actually a range down. I don't know why it says that. Okay. Now I need to find a way to get rid of this extra heart that I picked up earlier. That's where the blood donation machine is going to come in handy. Yeah, you got to react pretty quickly, but this extra run speed really helps. Just take advantage of the terrain here. Bear in mind, though, I am destroying the terrain as I'm trying to kill the enemy, so it's not really a good demonstration. But either way, just use... Once you're in line of sight, attack them and then just run away. Now I gotta watch out. If my acid tears hit that rock with the bomb in it, it's gonna blow up, and if I'm near it, I'm gonna get hurt. It's also something to take into account if you have, let's say for example, Leo, which is an item that allows you to walk over rocks and urns and destroy them when you do that. Or you could bump into it by accident and then blow yourself up. Now, you would normally think, okay, let's go in the treasure room. Wrong. Well, I'm still going to go there, but I'm going to blow the way in. There, and that saves me a key. Chemical peel. Now, you may notice it said damage up, but my damage did not actually increase. That's because the damage, the chemical peel rather, it only applies to one eyeball. You see how my face has like the two-face look to it? When it shoots out of the one eyeball, it'll do extra damage. You see how it's red, normal, red, normal? The red tier is what does the bonus damage. And if you walk out of this treasure room, it used to be locked, now it's unlocked. So now I have another way to get inside. That also means I won't accidentally bump into it and waste a key. So I definitely get that out of the way. I don't want to grab the battery yet. I have one charge until my Satanic Bible can be used, so I wouldn't want to waste it in that case. I was too busy focusing on the worm and I got hit. Okay, gonna use that, and going to use one more. I'm saving my friends till the end pill until the boss, since I know what it is now. It's only a minor boost, but hey, it's better than nothing. Super secret room, almost always on the very last square before the boss. There it is. That's going to really help me out here. I would like to give my money to the beggar, but 12 coins when giving money to the beggar is a huge risk. I would recommend waiting until you have at least 15 coins before you start giving money to the beggar. It's kind of a good benchmark in my opinion. He usually pays out within 15 coins. This is Super Envy. He's one of the worst guys you could run into at the very beginning. Fortunately, Eve is pretty much a cannon. I wouldn't even say a glass cannon at this point because thanks to the Satanic Bible, I'm pretty much a beefcake right now. By the way, as you're dodging all these guys, you also have to take into account the spider webs on the floor. They can definitely, even with just a slight speed down, suddenly it can mean the difference between dodging an enemy and not. Now, I'm very confused here. Super Envy is supposed to drop Shoop da Whoop, I believe, when you destroy him, if you're lucky. I have never seen it drop the Forever Alone. I don't know if that's a new patch or not, but I've never seen it before. I really can't figure out why that happened. But Forever Alone, it's an extra fly that floats around and you can damage enemies by walking the fly into it. I've never seen that before in my over 1,000 hours of playing this game. It must be something new. So I looked it up, and indeed, that is a new patch. According to the Isaac Wiki, it turns out that Super Envy was actually supposed to always drop the Forever Alone. But for some reason, despite the game being out for years, they just left Shoop da Whoop in and didn't bother fixing it. Okay, I could have used this Devil Beggar as well if I had some extra health. Unfortunately, I just don't. So I'm just going to blow him up. In case I get some goodies. Well, I got a bomb out of it. And I'm out of here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fight the boss now. Champion Monstro. It was Champion Monstro. That's the only benefit of when they're split like that. Sure, they're deadlier, but they also share... They split their health in two, pretty much. do not use the pill. It could be a teleport pill, and then if you teleport, this door is probably going to shut. So stick in the room. Child leash, it only is applicable if you have familiars. It keeps them a little bit tighter. So that way, it's easier to aim with them. Okay, I'm going to go in. I'm not going to grab this heart in case there's a battle inside the devil room. I don't want to lose my transformation. Okay, it's another book. This is the Necronomicon. And if you use it, it damages all the enemies in the level, or in the room you're in. It's a 6-charge book. It's pretty good. Now, I said I want to get rid of my hearts. I don't need this, but I do want to get rid of my hearts. Ooh, look at it go. Okay, don't need it. Alright, let's move on. And I'm going to pick this up because I know there's a blood donation machine up ahead. I have enough money to gamble on the beggar potentially. Now I'm grabbing this pill, and I'm hoping it's a I'm walking on sunshine pill. Or a power pill. Those two give you temporary invincibility. Therefore, I can gamble on the blood donation machine a lot. But it could also be an explosive diarrhea, in which case it's probably going to blow everything up. But let's give it a shot.
Pretty fly.
Pretty fly is great. It's another orbital. It's going to defend me. It's really good when there's lots of chaos in the area and it's hard to figure out where to dodge. It'll deflect some of the shots. Question is, do I want to give the beggar a try? I would prefer to have more coins. Before I do that, let's check out the shop. I have some extra keys. Okay, well I got some more hearts out of the deal. Sure, why not? Now let me tell you what I probably... Well, here's what I was going to say. I was saying that maybe I should have kept the devil beggar alive, because let's say, for example, this blows up and gives me a blood bag. I could have ran back to the curse room and lost and took away the rest of my hearts, because a blood bag gives you full health. So I could have lost that and given it to the devil beggar and maybe had him pay out. But either way, the devil beggar is now dead. Now, normally I'd grab this. It's great, but I don't really need bombs as much now that I have my sulfuric acid, because I can just destroy my way to the secret rooms. And I can destroy destructibles, but with my tears. This is the one rare case where I will ignore that. The portable slot machine is too expensive to really use it very well. Yeah, this'll work. I always see these in the shop. When you kill enough enemies, you gain a charge of your spacebar item. That essentially means I'm going to have quite a lot more hearts and soul hearts down the road. What I meant to say is dark hearts, because the Satanic Bible only has dark hearts. Now, I'm not going to gamble with 9 coins. He'll probably just give me an HP up anyway. But I did forget I left a pill in the secret room. Always want to check before you decide to leave. Just take a peek at the map and see if you missed it. If you missed anything, rather. I don't know why that's not breaking. The secret room's there. So what's going on? That is weird. Just for the sake of demonstration, what happens if I bomb it? I don't know what was wrong there. Maybe it was a glitch. But let's go ahead and bank on this being a power pill or a I'm walking on sunshine pill. So addicted, if you get hurt, you lose a full heart of damage, not a half heart. The very last thing I'm going to do is bomb the beggar. I'll take it. It's meconium. It makes regular poops turn into black poops every so often. I will take the stars because that means it's going to be a free key pretty much. Now I still have to watch out for red hearts. If I pick up one red heart by accident, then say goodbye to my transformation. There they are. A half heart will be okay because I have a half heart. For Eve, as long as you have a full heart or less, then the transformation occurs. For other characters with Whore of Babylon, you must be at a half heart or less. So I can survive picking up a half heart and still be okay, and still keep my transformation. But it's best if I avoid it in case I bump into another half heart in the future. I almost crashed right into it. My speed is capped. 2 is the fastest speed you can possibly have. There is no way to have more speed than that. Now what I'm saving my the stars card for is if I find a cursed room. I can walk into it, take 1 point of damage, grab the contents of that room, and then use the stars to get out. That way I don't deal an extra damage walking out of the room. Plus in turn that means I get in the treasure room without spinning a key. These guys are always hard. They're in your face, there's no room to move around, and when they die they explode. Unfortunately, this is something that takes practice. There's very little advice I can give you for that, especially when there's big gaps in the floor. It makes it even harder because there's less room to navigate around. But you have to find the sweet spot and dodge all those bullets when they die. Now, I may capitalize on the sacrifice room later on, potentially, when I have all my heart containers full of dark hearts. Then maybe I'll try it, but it's all circumstantial. There's probably a secret room to the south or to the north of here. So what this tells me, just so I can give you an idea of what I'm imagining here, if I go to the right room, there's going to be another room to the top of it. Because when the secret rooms are usually in like a C-type section, I'll show you in just a moment right here, before I go inside. Yeah, I'll take that. Alright, let's see if any of these poops are black poops thanks to the meconium. There's one. It's something. Black poops, for those of you that don't know, they damage all foes in the room that you're in, and it also stuns them and disorients them. So let's look at the map. You see how there's a C formed here? Or it's more like a, let's just call it a U in this case. It's more of a U right now. But either way, that little U/C type shape is a good indicator that there's a secret room there. Gotta watch out for those hearts. And we got a mystery pill. As usual, I will save it towards the end because I don't want to get amnesia or curse of the maze. Speaking of curse, I'm looking for the cursed room in case there is one. It's not guaranteed to be there, but I want to find it so I can go get that treasure room without spinning a key. Wait until those worms shoot, and then go ahead and run. If you start moving around earlier ahead of time, then they could make it harder for you actually, because it'll spread the bullets a lot further. So you just wait, they shoot, that means they're aiming for the one spot that you're standing in, and then you can run. So if you go like this, it's just going to scatter the tears everywhere, and you're probably not going to dodge it. Wow, another library. May as well take it all, because by picking them up, it removes them from the item pool. Okay, now we can I think we can confirm that the Satanic Bible does not increase your devil room chance like the Book of Revelations does. Thinking about it, because devil deals are very important in this game, maybe I should have taken the Book of Revelations instead. But at least with the Satanic Bible, every time I get hurt and lose a dark heart, it's going to damage all enemies in the room that I'm in. If you collect enough books, by the way, the library pool, or the book pool, is the smallest item pool in the game to my knowledge. And if you grab them all, if you happen to find another library, instead of getting a book, you'll get treasure items. And that can be very powerful. You can exploit this if you have a character like Isaac, who can re-roll the books into another book. So if you have a bunch of batteries and you clear a bunch of rooms on the floor, just keep clearing them, keep re-rolling the books, and then eventually there won't be any more books and you'll get all treasure items out of it. This is a good time to do that if there's multiple books, more than 2 I would say. Like if there's at least 3 books, or some libraries even have 6 books, it's crazy. That's the best room to use a re-roll in, and that way you can get some extra treasure items out of the deal. By the way, this is the key beggar. He's a jerk because I've given him 99 keys before and he still hasn't paid out. You need an absurd amount of keys or a lot of luck in order to get him to give you an item. But he, at the very least, will give you a lot of treasure chests, even if he doesn't pay out his primary item. Now, last episode, I bombed him because I figured, I won't get that many keys the rest of the levels, and I was completely wrong. I got 60 or 80 keys by the end of the level. So I'm saving him till the very end. Now I gotta watch out and not destroy those middle poops, because if I destroy those middle poops, then when these flies die, they're gonna spawn an item in the middle where I can't reach. And it happened. It's very unlikely for a cursed room to be at the very end, so I'm thinking there isn't going to be one this level. But I'll hold out on my stars card till the end. Still gotta watch out for those hearts. So this is Deep Pockets, and it lets you carry a card and a pill, or 2 cards or 2 pills. And there's a broken stopwatch there. It randomly slows down the room, so that way the enemies are easier to deal with. And there's also a very rare chance it may even speed up the room and make it really difficult. The broken watch actually statistically has a higher chance of taking a slow effect in the boss, which is only helpful. But there is that very rare chance it could speed up a boss and destroy you. This is the D7. It allows you to start a room over and then get the treasure item. Well, by treasure item, I mean whatever pickup spawn. So let's say, for example, I use it here. It's best to use it in a very easy room. I forgot what monsters were here. But either way, you use it, kills them, and then, hey, look at that, I got another pickup. With enough batteries, you can keep re-rolling the room over and over again, get different rewards. But it's kind of a way to slowly gain more items as long as you're good at dodging monsters. If you're not good at dodging monsters, maybe it's best if you leave that alone. Unless you find a really easy room to use it in. There is just no shortage of dark hearts here. What I'm really hoping for is having a devil deal with the Judas's shadow. That way I can kill myself and grab all these extra dark hearts. And Judas's shadow is very powerful. Alright, I've explored the super secret room and the secret room. I could potentially capitalize on the sacrifice room, but let's fight the boss first. This is the Forsaken. He likes to spawn bonies, he becomes invincible temporarily, and then he does brimstone in a circle. That is his pattern. That is all there is to it. Now, I don't want any more HP ups. I got the Satanic Bible to sustain me. Now, I could technically take this because it only gives you an empty heart container. It's the old bandage. That's what it does. But like I said before, I want to get rid of my hearts. And what better way than 2 devil deals? So I will take Guppy's Collar. When you die, there's a 50% chance you'll actually resurrect. And then I will take one of my favorite items, the Incubus. Now, take note of the order in which I took those devil deals. I had 2 hearts. There was a 2 heart deal here and a 1 heart deal here. I took the 1 first. That way I have one regular heart left. Then I took the 2. That was a way for me to get 2 devil deals with only 2 hearts, even though it would have cost me 3. Because you could buy a 2 heart deal with only 1 heart. It's kind of a way to scam the devil. And thank goodness, now I no longer have hearts. I don't have to worry about picking these up by accident and losing my transformation. Now, because of those devil deals, I'm going to pick these up. Do I really want to risk it? Do I really want to risk trying to use the sacrifice room? That's the question. I think I'm in a really good situation to where I'll go for it. You know what? Let's do this. Now, the sacrifice room, there's a lot involved. I recommend looking it up online because each time you stab yourself in the sacrifice room, it can do a different thing. But sometimes it's predictable. For example, I believe on the 6th time you stab yourself, that has a chance of either giving you a soul heart or giving you a devil room or angel room. It takes a lot of stabs to actually get to the end of whatever the sacrifice room gives you. But the further you go, the greater the rewards usually. You feel blessed just changes your devil room chance into an angel room chance. I've already got a devil room this level though, so it's actually not going to do anything right now. Once I go to the next level, that is going to go away. Okay, and there it is. I think that was the 6th stab. It didn't give me a soul heart, and instead it actually took me to the devil room. I actually would have preferred the soul heart, because that means I could stab myself again and have a little bit of a buffer. Now if I stab myself again, I think I have a chance of getting an angel room item for free. I think it's a 25% chance. I got it. Unfortunately though, Eden's Soul is one of the very few 12 charge items. And when you use it, I think it spawns either 1 or 2 treasures. I'm not sure if it's an angel treasure or if it's just a regular treasure. But either way, I do believe it spawns 2 of them. If I were to capitalize on this, I would have to get rid of the Satanic Bible. Now, there is a way I think I can salvage this. Before I proceed and stab myself more, I'm going to attempt to get a battery from the shop. Right, there is one here. Just like that, it's charged up. I'm just gonna see if the devil room's open. No, it's not open anymore. I'm not 100% sure if the room you're in can affect what items you spawn from Eden's Soul. That's why I wanted to try it in the devil room, just to confirm. I could try it in the library, but I don't want to waste it in case it spawns some books. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so obviously those are not angel room items. But hey, out of it, I got 2 extra items. Bomber Boy, it mimics the blast of the Bomberman games. Turns into a cross-type explosion. And gives you some extra bombs. This is the worst fly in the game, in my opinion. The best bud. When you get damaged, it sends a fly out that just circles you at enormously fast speeds. It's so fast that when it actually hits an enemy, it only hits him for a split second. So not only do you have to get damage for that to happen, but it hardly does anything. So it's a total waste. The only thing I like about it is the fact that if you pick up 3 fly items, you transform into Beelzebub, which gives you flight and transforms regular flies into blue flies. Makes you look ugly too. Troll bombs, yep. Now if I stab myself again, I have to fight an angel. But this is an alternative way to get the keys to go ahead and fight Mega Satan. You can take advantage of it if you go around the sacrifice spikes. He can actually bump into them and get hurt. Be careful not to accidentally walk out of the room though, otherwise he'll vanish and you'll lose your key piece. But that's also a way where if you want to stab yourself again and you don't want the key piece, you can get rid of him easily. I'm going to walk out because there's pedestals in my way here. They're going to vanish. Now if I stab myself again, I'm either going to get a ton of coins or I'm going to get a ton of soul hearts. I would prefer a ton of soul hearts because as you can see, my health is not that great. I got a bunch of coins. Now before I press on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the shop one more time. And I am going to see if I can get some more soul hearts out of the deal. I'll gain them naturally with the Satanic Bible. That's the primary reason why I actually attempted this. But I still want to have a little bit of a buffer if I can. Could also buy the Broken Watch. It's tempting. I'm also tempted to buy this card, but half the time it's an ace type card, which aren't that useful. Alright, since I can re-roll, I'm just going to see if I can get something better than the Broken Watch. Well, I did get a Soul Heart, and if I buy this, I can reuse my Satanic Bible. This is fantastic. The car battery has some insane synergies. This is no exception. When you use your activatable item, in which case mine is the Satanic Bible, it uses it twice. There are some activatable items it does not synergize with at all. It just doesn't double it for some reason. I don't know why they weren't added in sometimes, but that just happens. But I know from experience the Satanic Bible is now going to double each time. This is going to solidify my victory. I'm going to stab myself one final time because I want the next half of the key. Yeah, you gotta move around quickly. He likes to get in your face. Now let me tell you what happens next if I stab myself again. There's only one more thing this can do. Well, 2 more things. If I stab myself, there's a 50% chance I'll just hurt myself and nothing happens. Or there's another 50% chance that it'll teleport me to the final level, the dark chest. It's not going to teleport you to the regular chest, it teleports you to the dark chest, which means you do not get your treasure items like you would in the regular chest. You just get 4 red chests. But either way, it takes you straight to Mega Satan. That's a way that you can finish the game really quickly if you have the right build, and if you find a sacrifice room early on. But what this means is I'm not going to teleport straight to Mega Satan, I'm just going to work my way there, and I'll have the key ready to go once I actually get there. Okay, I have no more money to buy shop items. It's time to move on. But that was pretty lucrative. In case I have excess health later on, now that I have the car battery, I'm actually going to save him instead of blowing him up. And there's the stars. That way I get out the curse room, save a hit, and save a key by teleporting straight to this room. Now let me tell you about this. I think it's called Implosion or Imploder or something like that. Either way, this item either sucks or is very helpful. It's helpful early on if you're struggling, but if you're doing good and you have a fast tier rate, In my case, my tier rate's not that fast, but I have 2 at a time. It's not going to help me that much. The reason why is when you attack your enemy with this, the implosion ball latches on to your foe, and instead of dealing instant damage, it'll do damage 5 or 6 seconds later on. Now, if half your tiers are turning into that exploding tier that has a 6-second timer, this means until it blows up, you're dealing half damage. That is pretty bad. And what's worse is if there's enemies that pop out of the ground and you hit them with it and it latches on, it'll blow up 5 seconds later, but if they go underground and pop up again, it removes it. So in a lot of cases, this actually makes your damage weaker than stronger. So in conclusion, if you're really weak and you're suffering, I would take it. If you already have a pretty decent build and things are going your way, ignore it. Okay, there's yet another devil beggar. And it's all these ways of hurting myself, but I have no health to do that. Okay, so there's the Sworn Protector, the best bud. Look at him go. See that white fly? I have to really kind of focus hard in order to make him hit. But if you don't focus, it just passes through him really quickly. Now, to be fair right there, the bird was actually dealing the brunt of the damage. It just happened that the best bud here just took the kill from the bird pretty much. These rooms are nasty. If you see the ones with the cross on their face or the X on their face, you want to keep your distance from them. That's why I prioritize getting close to these guys. Now I don't want to attack the mushrooms here. They're too close. I could use my sulfuric acid to melt them, but the mushrooms could blow up and then hurt me. Keep your distance from these guys. Those maggots they're shooting out only go so far. Bear in mind that as you're shooting them, the maggots also block the shots, so it's good to get to the side of them. And there we go. Car battery just gave me 2 black hearts. Okay, this is great. So Liberty Cap. Now bear in mind that's a trinket, therefore it does not contribute towards the fungi transformation I referred to earlier, where you turn into an ugly mushroom, since the trinket doesn't do that. But the Liberty Cap gives me random abilities in each room. Sometimes it'll actually give you a huge tears up for the room, which is exactly what I need. It's another reason why I like the sulfuric tears, or the sulfuric acid. I didn't even try aiming for that and it blew it up. Now I need to remember to go back to the beggars before I fight the boss. I may end up blowing up the regular beggar to get a higher devil deal chance. But it's also going to depend on how much money I have. But that's the thing. I know that there's a high chance of getting an HP up with the beggar. So I probably will blow him up because I don't want an HP up. By the way, if an item drops in the middle and you really want it, you can use this to form a bridge. In my case, I can use the sulfuric tears to form a bridge. Never mind, I can't. Lesson learned. What I should have done is dropped a bomb here. And, I forgot about my Bomberman type bombs. Good news is it happened to reveal the super secret room. Either way, that all went to hell. Either way, place the bomb, run. It would form a bridge here, then I could walk past and grab the item. Okay, I'll take it. Now what I'm going to end up doing is using this mystery pill here. If it's hematemesis spawns some red hearts. In this super secret room, it'll turn into a dark heart. That's just how that super secret room is designed. I would have thought that the super secret room was here. I would have been wrong. So with the Hanged Man, I can get this card because I can float. But I have all these extra bombs, so I just push the bomb into it. Again, I keep forgetting about my Bomberman. I'm going to get myself killed. Emperor teleports you straight to the boss. I think I'll probably hang on to that, actually, once I use this pill. But as I've said before, I generally use the pills at the end of the level to avoid some nasty pills. I'm going to destroy these mushrooms first before I engage with this enemy. Because if I'm too close, then it could blow up and hurt me. Now instead of going through here, I can just go ahead and blow up my way there. I'm going this way even though I can't afford anything, because maybe if I'm lucky there's greed and he'll give me a bunch of money. Nope, not this time. I noticed the green shimmer on that penny. It's a lucky penny. I believe with more luck, my sulfuric acid will appear more often now. I'm also going to go ahead and take care of this boss room. I gotta watch out for that Eternal Heart though, I don't want it. If your move speed is slow, don't try to react to the fatty. Just keep moving. That way if he does decide to jump on your head, you'll already be walking out of the way. In my case though, I have a good reaction time and max speed, so I don't have to worry about that. There's one more room I haven't explored yet, and that is this mini boss room. Pretty nasty because there's hardly any space to maneuver, but at least I killed him really quick. I'm also going to blow this up. I remembered my Bomberman bombs this time. Because I know there's a Pretty Fly in rotation. Or Pretty Fly pill. Now if you have Pretty Fly, you can only grab a maximum of 3 of them. But wow, it helps so much when you do have 3. Alright, let's give the boss a try. Rag Mega. He becomes immortal every so often, but his hit points are very low. But the problem is those purple balls there, they're immortal the whole time. So you gotta kind of kite them around. I made sure to use my... see, my Satanic Bible charged up during that fight because of my jumper cables, so I made sure to use it ahead of time. That way when the boss died, I'd have 1 extra charge. It's a little, I mean, it's kind of micromanaging what you can do. It's not that much of a benefit, but sometimes if you have a really bad run, it can really pay off. Now here's the experimental treatment. It's going to reshuffle my stats. It's going to give me, it could give me plus to everything, minus to everything, a combination of the two. It's kind of risky because it could give me an HP up, which I really don't want. But there's also a... I think that it gives you an empty heart container. So this time, because the general rule is if you're doing good, I would take it. If you're suffering, avoid it because it's too risky. Let's see what I get. I got a tears up, I got a damage up, lost shot speed, lost luck. I did gain a heart, but as you see, it is a empty heart container. But even if I had 1 full heart, then Eve still would not lose her transformation. The other characters would if they had Curse of Babylon, or Horror of Babylon, rather. But Eve doesn't have to worry about that. So what I'm going to do, the very last thing here, is I'm going to... First of all, I want to show you something. I've mentioned before that you don't want to grab an Eternal Heart till the very end. And the reason behind that is, let's say you grab it and you decide, okay, I want to go ahead and utilize the blood donation machine or perhaps the devil beggar. If you get hit by an enemy, you're going to lose your dark heart. If you use a blood donation machine or a devil beggar, guess what? It prioritizes your eternal heart? Wait a minute. I thought that it would take the eternal heart first. That's very strange. Maybe it's because I have half a heart. I'm going to grab a full heart just in case. Alright, it's at the bottom. Because I could have sworn when you use the machine or the devil beggar that it takes your eternal heart away first. Yes. Okay. Perfect demonstration there. Now I did learn something new though. If you have half a regular heart and that's it, and you grab the eternal heart, it's not going to prioritize it. But if you have a full heart and you stab yourself, then it does take the eternal heart away. Now, I don't know why it's interacted that way, but instead of having to worry about that formula, just grab the eternal hearts at the very end. Don't worry about it. Chariot, perfect. Use that, makes you immortal, and just hug the machine or the devil beggar. This is Plan C. This is a horrible item. Plan C, use with caution, of course. It murders you and then murders everyone else in the room. It's only beneficial if you have a guaranteed resurrection item. Some people think they're clever and they try to save it for delirium. The problem is if you use it on delirium, delirium's death animation takes so long that you're guaranteed to die first. So don't use it on delirium even if you have a guaranteed resurrection. I have a 50% chance of resurrecting. I'm not doing that, no way. Plus I can kill the bosses on my own. I don't need Plan C right now. And the last thing I'm going to do here, I did mention I saved the devil beggar. So I'm going to grab a heart. And I'm going to go ahead and utilize... I don't know what just happened there, but I think I just ran through so quickly that I took no damage coming through. It's not guaranteed to happen even with max speed, though. I'm too afraid to use these mystery pills in case I get a... Oh, great, I got another syringe item. In case I get explosive diarrhea, I don't know if I can push all those tears away in time. So I now have 2 syringe items. Now, I can't get any faster speed, so unfortunately all it did was give me a range up. But now I'm 2/3 of the way to the sponge transformation, which makes you a lot stronger. And it makes you look pretty freaky. I Am Drowsy is a very powerful pill, actually. For the room that you're in, it slows all enemies down, including their tears. So it's almost like bullet time. It's very good to save that if you're going to fight Mega Satan or Delirium or someone scary like that.
One makes you large.
Alright, I'm feeling lucky. I'm going to see if I do get Power Pill or I'm walking on sunshine. Let's try it. Let's just go for it. Nope, Infested just gives you spiders. The more monsters there are in the room when you use it, the more spiders will spawn. There's actually 2 variations of the Infested pill. There's one with a question mark and one with an exclamation mark. The one with the exclamation mark gives you extra spiders for each poop that's in the room. It also works for destroyed poops as well, but I don't have that pill right now. And one makes you larger. If you take 3 of them, you're freaking huge, and you kind of stomp around as you walk. It's not worth it though because it's too hard to dodge when you're that fat. Sure, your hitbox is tiny, but it's visually difficult to dodge that way because you're so big. Now, last thing I'm going to do, I've already killed the boss. I don't need this item here. Right. Do I have the super secret room? I do not. I'm going to hold off before leaving. I need to go find that and see what we get, and then I'll assess the situation from there. In the meantime, though, I'm definitely going to take that, give myself some more hearts. Oh wait, I did find the super secret room. I forgot that I found it by accident. So, I'm going to just blow up the poor beggar and the shell game guy. Normally you can't blow them up with one bomb usually because it's too hard to reach, but thanks to the Bomberman, they're done for. I do have a little bit of extra money. Perhaps I'll take another look at the shop one more time. I'll take it, yeah. This will allow me to bank up on energy. Let's say I have full dark hearts, but I still have charges on my book. I can charge it up twice the amount now that I've taken the battery. So I'm happy. I'm going to move on. I don't want to grab that. Saving the drowsy pill in case I do happen to save it for Mega Satan or Delirium. We'll see. I'm also going to save the Emperor card if I can for the womb and beyond because there's no more treasure rooms, therefore there's very little reason for me to explore every room. By the way, you may notice that my Devil Deal chance has increased. It's now 67%. For each time you do not find a Devil Room, the next level increases the odds of getting it. Ooh, a golden bomb. That's going to be fun, especially with the Bomberman. Gives you infinite bombs for the floor. Not just the room, but the floor. You hear the laugh? Start moving. I use the controller to slow myself down a little bit. That way when the hand drops, I'm not all the way back here. Because you see how long it takes for my tears to reach it? So if I go slow, just fast enough to dodge the hand, but then I'll be close to the hand and damage it. There we go. Now I'm capped. I need to find another Devil Deal so I can get rid of this last heart. And if you blow up the shopkeeper, you gain extra Devil Deal chance. The higher your initial chance, the more chance it's going to give you. For example, if I had a 30-ish% chance of a devil room, if I blew him up, I'd only gain probably 2.5%. This time I gained 5 from killing him though. And there's a tinted rock there. If I find another sacrifice room, I might just go for it. I might just head straight for Mega Satan. So I mentioned there's a 50% chance on the final stab to teleport it to him. I think I'm strong enough to take him. Even though I'll end up skipping another treasure room, I think. So this is Cancer. The astrological sign of Cancer, specifically. There is a Cancer trinket, and then there's a Cancer astrological sign. What that does is if you get damaged one time, it then gives you a shield. That shield from now on in the same room that you're in will reduce all damage to a half. This means if a champion hits you, it's only going to deal half. Or alternatively, if you're in the womb and beyond, where you get hit for a full heart of damage from then on out, it's only going to do half. So it's only beneficial when you get hit, but it also gives you 3 soul hearts when you grab it. I'm capped, so I'm not going to grab it until I reach the end of the level. When you reach the depths and beyond, like I'm at right now, you'll definitely want to check to see what level you're on before you engage the boss. If it's floor 2 of the depths, then it could be Mom. And if it's Mom, that means it will be Mom rather, not could, it will be Mom if it's level 2 of the depths, or the dank depths. And if you do that, that means you're not going to get, you'll leave all the items behind that you missed. So make sure you're ready before you do that. Now you see my charged item, it now has a yellow bar on it. So that's the second layer thanks to the battery. The Judgment will spawn a beggar. Most likely it'll be a regular beggar, but it could be a devil beggar or a key beggar, or if you're obscenely lucky, it's a bomb beggar. So this room's really dangerous. I'm just going to blow this up, push into it, see what I get. And if it was a treasure item, I would just go ahead and risk hurting myself. I really want this key. Got it. I don't want to shoot a bomb here because the skulls are too close and I'll blow myself up. Now, if I wanted, I could just use my fly to hurt these guys. Oh, I accidentally walked out of the room because my sulfuric tears destroyed the door. And then I restarted the room when I came back. Now, you may have also noticed that the champion enemy went away. That's kind of a sneaky thing you could do. Let's say you walk into a room with tons of champions. You can just drop a bomb here or blow it up with your sulfuric tears, walk out of the room and come back. And most of the time, they're all normal afterwards. Now, I still have not ran to greed yet. It's the further you go without running to greed, the higher the chance. Also, the more money you have, the more likely you'll find greed too. I'm due, I think. Let's see what happens. Nope. Great. This is the hive mind. And say hello to Beelzebub. So now I can fly. I'll have more flies when regular flies enter the room. But the reason why I grabbed that mostly is now my flies and spiders will be larger and deal more damage as I get them. But this is a perfect synergy with the Beelzebub transformation. Now I gotta make sure I don't blow up the donation machine. Speaking of which, let me make it to 6. That's the number I like. So I'm gonna put this here and get my money. Now we know the super secret room can't be here because you can't even walk there. And now this is easy mode. I can just go like this, don't have to worry about a thing. Oh yeah, I could even go in here and grab this. And my book is capped. I really hope I find a sacrifice room, but I can't expect it though. Now if you're not sure if they're going to shoot a brimstone beam or a maggot, just look at their head. If they have a little face with eyeballs on it, then you'll know that they shoot maggots. This is the flat penny. Every time you pick up a coin, it has a 50% chance of giving you a key. It's actually very powerful because keys are kind of rare. Yeah, there couldn't have been a super secret room there because it would have been attached to 2 rooms. These guys are a pain. Just be patient. Also, it helps to walk backwards while you're waiting for them to pop out, because if you're too close, they usually will not reveal themselves. No sacrifice room, what a shame. But let me find the super secret room, and then I'm going to proceed onward. Whoops, that was an accident. The counterfeit penny, when you pick up a coin, it has a 50% chance of giving you another coin. So if you pick up a dime and it's a 50% chance and you get lucky, it'll actually give you 11 cents, not 20. Destroy them quickly, run away, rinse and repeat. If I didn't have any golden bombs, the best option would be to push them into the barrels and destroy them. That way it doesn't cost you a bomb, but I don't have to worry about that. Let's take care of the boss. This is war. And I don't really have much to tell you because I could be reckless just like that, and he's dead. I really don't have to worry about so much strategy due to my damage. And this is the reason why I'm going to fight Mega Satan. The 4 horsemen always give you either a cube of meat or a ball of bandages. It's great because orbitals are always great and they're not that common. So they'll be good defense, but I can also use the cube of meat to attack my foes. but you got to get really close to do that. It's risk versus reward. Now you may be wondering, why am I not using my Satanic Bible yet? And the reason for that is there are some soul hearts on the field on the map. I can go grab those and save my charge. Now I do not want any more hearts. I'm actually taking both of these because I can afford it. That's another very good synergy with the car battery. Since you have so many hearts out of the deal, just keep using it and you can pretty much take any devil deal you want, even if it's not that great. Sister Maggie is just a regular familiar, just shoots tears every so often. Normally I wouldn't take that. However, bear in mind that there are certain familiars that will give you the conjoined transformation if you grab 3 of them. There are a lot of familiars that count towards that transformation. I know Brother Bobby and Maggie and Sister Maggie are 2 of them. You'll want to look it up just because of the large variety of options. But the transformation for reference is called the conjoined. Okay, there's a soul heart in the super secret room, so I'm going to save my book. There's also a pill in here. What do we got? Relax.
Relax.
Okay, time to get out. What do we have in here? Right, we have cancer, which gives you 3 soul hearts as well. Of course, I can only get 1 from it. But now if I get hit twice during the room, the second hit, and from then on out, it's only going to give me half damage instead of full. So that's really helpful for very long fights. Also going to blow this up because I still want 1 more pretty fly. I have 2 of 3 orbitals. I'm going to hang on to the infested with the exclamation mark, since that's the one that, if there's poop in the area, you'll spawn extra spiders. And thanks to the hive mind, my flies and my spiders are going to be huge and deal a ton of damage. And by having no hearts, I'm guaranteed to have the boss arena open up. So far, the golden chests have been pretty underwhelming. Alright, this is a champion Mega Maw. I'm going to hold off before attacking him. I've warned you about this guy many times in my other videos. You see how fast he's shooting? It's really dangerous. And especially if you're on the caves when you have a slow run speed. So that's why I recommend avoiding boss arena rooms when you're on the caves or any of the tier 2 levels. Okay, I've overstayed my welcome. Let's take him out. By the way, it also does a full heart of damage due to the fact that he's a champion. It's very deadly. In the High Priestess, it has Mom's foot crush a random enemy in the level. Or in the room you're in, rather. It doesn't work against Mom, because obviously she's not going to go crush herself, is she? If you use that during the Mom fight, I think she just crushes you. I'm going to check. Oh, that's right. There's no secret room here because it's blocked off by the spikes. Hey, there we go. There's a sacrifice room. I'm going to start stabbing myself ahead of time. Normally, I recommend waiting for the boss and then kill him and then go ahead and do the sacrifice room. But if I go to the boss fight, then I can't get out because it's Mom. And my book, what's it called? It's the Satanic Bible is capped right now. So I need to start using it. By the way, with cancer, look at this. Half a damage. That's another way to capitalize on the sacrifice room with things like that. But there is a chance it could teleport me to the devil room or the angel room. And if it does, I'm going to lose the cancer effect until I damage myself again. Okay, if I happen to get a devil room now, it's a 100% chance to be an angel room. There it is. Okay. So there's Lazarus's rags. It resurrects you as Lazarus. Or at least the resurrected version of him, which is a little bit more powerful than regular Lazarus. I'm not sure if that's going to benefit me, because I would have to kill myself after all. And this right here is Lil Delirium. He gives you an extra... He's a random familiar every time. I wish he'd stay as Incubus, but he just changes every so often. And just for the heck of it, I'm just going to ruin these guys' day. There's no benefit for me doing this. This would normally be suicide, but guess what? I don't care. Well, I did get a coin out of it, so maybe it was worth it. Okay, I'm moving on. I'm going to proceed with stabbing myself. In fact, I might just go fight Mega Satan right now. We'll see. Now, I already have the key. What I could do is stab myself, the angel appears, and I can run out of the room and come back and not deal with him. However, I don't want to lose my cancer effect. I only get stabbed for half a heart right now. So I'm going to fight him. You see that V section type zap he did? When he doesn't cross his arms, he could do that, or he could shoot it up, down, left, and right. So when you see him prepare to do that and he's not crossing his arms, there's a very specific spot you have to stand that keeps you safe. Either to the left of where the V would be, or the right. There's the soul hearts. Last time I got the coins. This time, got the soul hearts. So, you know what? That's it. I'm going to go fight Mega Satan. I'm going to go ahead and kick his butt. Let's go shop first and go check out the treasure rooms. Jawbone is like a little boomerang. It can also help you get items that you can't reach. So let's say that card's impossible to get. Just like that. And let's check the shop. It's probably greed. Yep, I knew I was due. I haven't seen him this entire run, and this is the final shop. So I could continue on and fight Mom and grab the Polaroid or the negative, which would make me a little bit more powerful, since those only actually proc if you have no hearts or half heart at the most. There were no poops, if I remember correctly, so I'm just going to waste that. And where's my drowsy pill? I think it's at the bottom. Now, if I fight Delirium or go to the Void, there's several boss rooms. I could use the Emperor, but to my knowledge, what I remember is it teleports you to a random boss room. So you're not guaranteed to get Delirium. Therefore, the Emperor card is not very helpful in that case. So I'm going to leave that item alone, and I'll bring the High Priestess with me in case I need it. Okay, this is the part where you have 50% chance of just nothing happening, you get hurt, or you get Mega Satan. Let's see how lucky I get. Fail. Success. Alright, takes me straight to the dark room. And how appropriate to have Curse of Darkness with it as well. One more Guppy item and I turn to Guppy. And you are able to have multiple transformations. Alright, let's take care of this guy. And by defeating Mega Satan, I have a 50% chance of the portal to the Void appearing, meaning I can fight Delirium. By the way, see my little Delirium is turned into Bob's brain? Gotta watch out for that. So it's still pretty dangerous to have him occasionally. Now I'm actually saving my I'm Drowsy pill. I'm confident enough that I can handle Mega Satan without it. In case I do fight Delirium, I want to save it for that fight. That's the one I'm less confident on because it's dependent on your build. As you fight Mega Satan over and over, you start learning what assortment of monsters will spawn ahead of time. But if you don't know what's going to come up, just stay away from the bottom. That's where the monsters will spawn. But I'm in a really good position. If I get hurt, I can also use my Satanic Bible and heal myself. Watch out when he opens his mouth when you're fighting him directly. If he opens his mouth, he'll shoot a big brimstone in your face, and it hurts. Okay, so it's going to be Super Wrath and Super Lust next. I didn't even see what hit me. I think it must have been one of the little guys. After this, it's the hardest phase of the hardest section of the first phase for Mega Satan because it spawns 4 super bosses or super mini bosses at the bottom. Okay, so during this fight, I believe, I got Cambion Conception to spawn a little brimstone for me. That's the power of Cambion Conception. When you get damaged enough, you spawn a familiar. It could spawn 4 or 5 familiars, I believe, eventually. See, if I had the leash, the little brimstone would be closer to me and I wouldn't have to worry about running away so much. And don't worry about the hands, they just keep respawning all the time. So just focus on his face, and the hands will naturally die over time. This is phase 2. This is his bullet hell phase. I'm going to use the High Priestess on it. This is where having a lot of orbitals can be very helpful. Or if you have Dry Baby, you can just tuck yourself behind him for protection. I believe my sulfuric tears maybe are destroying those flames. I'm not entirely sure what is. By the way, I kept forgetting about little brimstone. There it is, 50% chance, and we're gonna fight Delirium. Know when to quit, by the way. If I barely survived that, and I knew I didn't have the right items to handle Delirium, I would just go in the chest and abandon ship. Know when to quit. But it's also fun gambling occasionally. It's fun having a run where you barely survive and you come out on top. So those would have been flies that would attack me, but they turn into blue flies thanks to my Beelzebub ability, or transformation rather. I think it even applies to red flies. This is probably the secret room. Nope, it's not. Looks like it, but the thing with the Void, it's one of the biggest places, or rather it is the biggest place in the game. So there's a lot of areas where it might look like the secret room, but you could be wrong. It still looks like it's there. It's got the U shape or the C shape I referenced earlier.
Justice.
I'm still destroying these because after all, you can still get cards. Some of them can be very helpful. Dagon's not so much. That just gives me a extra soul heart. And it cures the curse, but there is no curse here. I need to make sure I adapt to my new little brimstone. I keep forgetting to keep them charged up. It's best to hold it ready to go. That way when you walk in the room, you can unleash it immediately. This is useless. It allows you to go in the shop without spinning the key, but there are no more shops. There is a super greed, however. It's best to stick to the side instead of dodging between the tiers, because it's really dangerous. I don't know what I'm going to do with this money, but here we are. I could also take my time and use the sulfuric acid to destroy these funny looking rocks in case the placenta drops. I don't actually need the placenta though. It gives you an HP up and it regenerates your health. But I only have dark hearts and soul hearts, so I'm not concerned about that. The rusted key allows more keys to drop every so often, but the flat penny is going to give me a larger variety because it's easier to find coins than there is to have the lucky key randomly spawn extra keys. And you notice how flight trivializes this. Flight is really powerful. You may also notice the difficulty of the monsters during the void. They're actually not that hard. The void is kind of a way to beef yourself up before fighting Delirium. Sometimes you even get enemies that you find in the basement and it just makes it really easy. Come on. This is pretty likely to be Delirium, actually, because he's all the way tucked on the side. Let's find out. Nope, not this time. That's alright. Say goodbye to Daddy Longlegs. Contact from below. It says wealth, but at what cost? There is no cost. It's only benefit. You get 2 items that drop instead of 1 when a room is cleared. Oh, I missed the tinted rock. I was trying to use the cube of meat to hug him with it, but I ended up getting too close. Imagine how much harder this would be without being able to fly. I'd have no room to dodge. I'd be at the mercy of the bullets. Another reason why flight is very beneficial. Now, in case one of these is Delirium, I'm going to grab a battery. That way I can use my Satanic Bible twice and get 4 Dark Hearts out of the fight. Oh, you look familiar. He's not going to drop a cube of meat, though, because on the Void, that doesn't happen. This is useless. Goat head, 100% chance for Devil Deal, if there is one. The Void doesn't have any devils. In fact, once you reach beyond the womb, then devil rooms will no longer open up. You can still teleport to them, depending on the circumstances, but the goat head doesn't affect that in any way, shape, or form. Go after the little one first. He's weaker, so he'll die a lot faster. Bobby Bomb gives you homing bombs. Now, if I didn't have extra bombs, I could bait that... I didn't even see that. Anyway, I could bait that green champion over to the urns and then blow him up there. Also, if I didn't have sulfuric acid. But either way, you can take advantage of these champion bosses that are green. Okay, this would teleport me to the secret room. This can also be used if you don't want to fight Delirium immediately. maybe you're not that strong and you want to go kill all the bosses and get their loot first. So let's say you bump into him. You can use the moon right now and teleport to the secret room and then go back to here later once you're ready. As he jumps in the air, I like to trade places with him. Not all jumping characters will jump towards you. For example, Peep sometimes just jumps up in the air straight, so don't be fooled by that. And very rarely you might get a boss like Satan. That was not a good idea. I tried to time it to blow him up. Instead, I blew myself up. During phase 1, I like to drop a bomb right where he appears. That way it weakens the first form. Phase 2, you can do the same thing if you want. This is where orbitals come in handy. It's very difficult to dodge this barrage without orbitals. That's why I generally don't like going to Shale unless I have a bunch of orbitals. Now you see that? I capitalize on the cube of meat. You can just run into the foe and deal tons of bonus damage just by walking into him with the cube of meat. Walking into the legs does not hurt you. Getting stomped on them does. Book of Secrets, it can do a couple things, but it's all associated with revealing the map. There we go, now I can see the rest. I still don't know exactly where the bosses are though, but I can kind of predict by looking at the map. That tells me there's a boss over there, and or it's most likely a boss, and I know it's not Delirium because he needs 4 squares not attached to any other bosses in order to spawn. So you can use your educated guess to determine if Delirium is there. These golden chests have been rather disappointing. They could drop treasure items, but I don't think I found a single one yet. Ah, another tough boss. Just follow him in a circle when he does this. His head will disconnect when he's about to die. And he could charge at you, so keep your distance. He could either do Brimstone or shoot a bunch of homing tears. And there was the charge. I would still focus the head if you can, but right now the body's in the way. But assume Brimstone's going to happen every time he does that. Every time he prepares to attack. He could also rotate. So you see, instead of staying in line of sight when he was about to attack, instead I decided to head a little bit south of where the Brimstone might be. And there it was. Mom's eyeshadow, it has a chance to charm your enemies as you attack them. If you get 3 Mom items, you also get the Mom transformation, which has a knife that follows you. It's okay. It's kind of hard to control the knife though, since it's behind you all the time. You can also use the stars to escape the Delirium fight too. Or any teleport item, really. In my case, because I have the deep pockets, I can hold 2 different items here in the bottom right. What I do is, because I want to save the Iron Drowsy pill for Delirium, it's very possible, depending on what controller you're using, that your finger could slip, and then you accidentally use it. So in my case, I want to highlight the moon. That way, if I do slip, it'll use that instead, and that won't bother me. Another day, guys. Okay. Could this be Delirium? Nope. It's the gate. I always stick to the side of this guy. It's a little bit safer, because he spawns those guys out of his head, and they could land right on you. Bomb bag makes bombs spawn every so often. Specifically, it's when you clear a room. Those guys are not to be trifled with, and he's still invisible. They shoot so many guys at you, and then those guys shoot tiers at you. It pretty much turns the fight into a bullet hell. What do we got? Okay, Delirium. Pop the I am drowsy. Now his tier is going to be a lot more slower, therefore it's going to be easier for me to dodge them. What's great about the slow tiers is sure it kind of makes it harder if you're close, but if you keep your distance, the tiers usually vanish before they even reach you. Okay, you are going to die. As I've said in every Delirium fight I've encountered, Delirium is not completely skill-based. There is a large element of luck, but the biggest element is what items you have. Even if you're the best player in the world, if your items suck, you're not going to be able to handle Delirium. Doesn't matter. But just make sure you keep moving, keep your distance. He bounces around everywhere, so expect the unexpected. I didn't expect that. You also have to watch out for some of his tiers. They're normally green. The green ones blow up. Now the downside of using the I am drowsy, it kind of adds like a white filter on all the tiers. Therefore you can't tell which one's green, and therefore you don't know which one's going to explode. So just keep your distance. The boomerang was bringing that card to me. And don't treat all the bosses like the normal bosses, because Delirium does an amplified version of the boss. Pretty much just, it's like a boss on crack cocaine. It just moves around erratically, shoots a lot faster, moves a lot faster, bounces around everywhere. But the I'm drowsy pill pretty much trivializes the fight. And then to add to that, thanks to the Satanic Bible, I can use more Dark Hearts, and Cancer reduces my damage to a half instead of a full. So I'm sitting pretty. I just gotta make sure my finger doesn't slip and I accidentally use the stars card during this fight. I've done it before. I still keep forgetting about Little Brimstone. If I had a pretty weak build, I'd probably have to rely on him. But I guess since I'm so strong, I just keep forgetting. And that's it. Another day, another Delirium dead. Thank you so much for joining me for the 12th episode of The Teaching of Isaac. And hope you learned something new. I learned some new things during this run. I've been playing this game for so long. Doesn't matter though. There's always something to learn. It just never ends. And that's part of the reason why I've created this series. I'm still learning new things during this series. As always, if you learned something new, please hit the like button, and please subscribe if you'd like some more episodes. See you on the next one.